A new Deltarune newsletter has recently came out, and of course it talks about what's next for the game. The last two chapters are going to be serious, obviously, as I stated. Now, chapter 6, they said that it's gonna focus on one mystery regarding the story. Obviously, he didn't say what it was, but we can create theories as to what this mystery could be. Could it be the Knight's identity, the final prophecy, the incident that Asteroid keeps vague posting about? Or maybe it could be about Des or its friend. It just has to be friend. Think about it. What has every secret boss done? They all have talked about the next chapter's main boss, right? Jevil talked about Queen, Spampton talked about Senna, describing it as a random TV. And for chapter 3, well, I don't really know about that one. Gerson talked about Flowery, because, talking about chapter 5, Field of Pink and Gold. And guess what Mad Mew Mew talks about? She talks about cats. A random patch released one day, and it came with dialogue from Mad Mew Mew talking about cats. She says how they like to chase anyone with protein, and if they find any, they'll bite you really hard, which is exactly what they did. The only way you can get this dialogue is by defeating the secret boss, obviously, and then getting the egg, and then getting bit by friend. It's not in any particular order, so don't worry about that. Pink even states how some people would disguise themselves to avoid being chased. The only person we can think of that did that was Spampton. And now we know why Tenna didn't recognize Spampton from seeing him first glance. He definitely used those glasses to blend in, so yeah. So here's how I think chapter 6 will go. We start off with Susie telling Noelle that the Dark Lords are real. Then she invites her to Castletown. We do our usual thing in Castletown, and then we leave. But, mind you, since Rudy allegedly fell down, then again, we don't really know if it's official or not, but if we're going under the assumption that he is, Noelle will go to the hospital and create a dark world from there, in hopes that she'll save him. And since the main reason that chapter 6 is short probably is because if the dark world does take place in the hospital, well, it probably won't be as long since the hospital is very small and there isn't much stuff in there. But one thing is certain, we will get a proper introduction to Friend. Maybe even the main only boss fight will be Friend. We fight Friend, and then when we win, we'll get Noelle and tell her that we can't, save everyone like this, or something like that. I don't know, I'm not really great at this. We tell her about the roaring, seal the fountain, and then go get the codes. Then we make our way to the shelter. It will then cut to Susie, Chris, and Noelle entering the shelter. The door closes, and that ends the chapter. Now, mind you, it's pretty short because there's no secret boss and there's no more egg, so yeah, this one will be pretty short. Now, I'm not sure what will change about Noelle inside C, the slightly aborted weird route, but hey, only time will tell. We'll just have to wait until 2027, I guess. Now, what would the encounters be? Assuming that there will be any. My guess is that they'll most likely be the little mini friends that we saw in the boss fight of Eram in chapter 3. I'm not sure what they'll do though. But other than that, I don't really know. I'm very stumped. There's very little stuff that we have. Who knows? Maybe Eram will be there. You guys remember Eram, right? Pink talked about how someone owned a bunch of cats. Yeah, that's likely Eram given the little mini boss fight for the Shadow Mantle. Now, to the people who will say, well, Noelle is gonna learn about the Dark World, it's gotta be about Des. And honestly, part of me agrees. But do you remember the following sentence back in chapter 4? Lost where the forests were grow, the children follow the pointed tail? Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Des got kidnapped by Friend. We'll get a proper introduction, and if Des is still alive, then we'll probably rescue her or something. I don't really know. That is assuming that death isn't the night, of course. But of course, at the end of the day, this is just a theory about Toby Fox's game. And knowing Toby, it's probably gonna be wrong. So, yeah, let's just see. Let's just wait and see. If you have any questions, then, well, I don't know, put them in the comments maybe. Thank you for watching this really short theory that I have stuck in my head. See ya.